Hey everyone, what is going on? So today I actually want to make more of a unique video where we go over what I should have went over a long time ago, and that is my main takeaways on how I went from this broke person having depression, social anxiety, confidence issues, a lot of other bad stuff to essentially where I'm today, and what has really helped me to go from that point to where I'm today. Because what I'm doing today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bastian, and I run two consulting businesses, so my agency and my own coaching business, where I help agency owners and done with you consultants, and we're doing organically in profit, 40K a month consistently. So that is who I am, what I do, and who I was, and really just want to give you some clear insights as to what has worked really well for me, okay? And just take into account, when you hear a guru say what's worked for him won't always work for you, but I just want to make what I went through, make it as applicable as I possibly can for you, okay? So first thing, back when I started in December with my social media marketing agency journey, wasn't even the strategies. I went through a lot of theory, okay? I took about 60,000 notes in Word documents and constantly read it every single evening to get a good understanding of the business model. But the biggest thing was, and that didn't have to do with SMMA, was getting a morning routine and an evening routine. And you may already have heard me preach this on my channel, and that is really because it makes a tremendous difference for you as an entrepreneur, because it's kind of hard to transform if you don't know what you want, right? And I a vision of becoming a certain individual that is congruent with hitting a certain monetary business objective. And so what I did is every single morning I woke up religiously 5:30 a.m. I did my meditation, affirmations, read a book every single morning, and also went out to exercise. And this truly gave me confidence, right? Because I was working on my knowledge, I was working on my health, I was keeping promises to myself, and this really helped me by not just letting the day control me, but instead it's the opposite. And it's just a great way to get your day essentially started. Morning routines are huge, okay? And obviously you can for myself, I don't I waver from time to time, okay? We're human, but those who do it closest to perfection, those are the people who really make a fast transformation as to what I did, right? So aside of that, second thing is really just knowing what I want, right? Having a vision board. That was the biggest thing for me, having a vision board. Because a month ago, when I look back at my vision board, I was sitting with my girlfriend right here, and I was actually showing her my vision board, and I was wow, I was just reflecting, and I literally achieved everything on that board, and I didn't even look at it for 5 months. And it's because, as I said, it really just gets ingrained into your mind what kind of objectives you set for yourself, right? And it doesn't always have to be just business objectives. It is just important to know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, you don't know what to do. If you know what you want, you know what to do, because you just reverse engineer it. And in theory, you can do that, and then obviously in the practical side of things, some things may waver, but you'll have a lot more direction than not knowing what you want, right? So that is really what I did, vision board, and essentially reverse engineering my objective, okay? Third thing was focusing on one thing, okay? Focusing on one thing, because it's so easy to get distracted with the amount of information and opportunity on the internet we have nowadays. It's crazy. So just focusing on one thing will really allow you to, number one, become better at it. Number two, to not waver from your path. Number three, to find longevity in what you're doing. And those are really the three main things that I just want to mention when you're focusing on one thing. Probably number four is you're not going to get distracted, right? So really committing and focusing on one thing is going to get you way further than spreading yourself, your time and energy thin on multiple things, right? Especially when it's your first business, financial vehicle that you're trying to establish, right? And also, fourth thing, raising my standards is what I definitely have been able to do over the past year, because I believe yesterday I actually called with my mentor, and it's funny because this is something I would have never said back in at the start of 2019. I was kind of lost, right? And I kind of like felt off track. And he said, okay, man, all good. And we like, just had a chat, fix like kind of what was on my mind, got me back on track. And he was like at the end, hey man, so do you mind like asking me what like kind of numbers you've been able to do this month so far? And I said, yeah, man. So I've been like I've only been able to make 15K a month, 15K this month so far. And I was like, whoa. Like I said, I only made 15K like in, 2 weeks. And that is, it's raising your standards consistently and making them irrefutable, right? Because some people may say, wow, that's a lot of money, but for myself, it's like, it's not because like I have an expensive lifestyle, it's just because I raise my standards. It's a lot for them, right? Because some people have standards of like finding 1K a lot of money, right? Some people find 2 or 3K a lot, and some find 10K a lot. Like it's different for everyone. Everyone has different standards in terms of that, right? So, for myself, I am really like kind of freaked out if I make less than a certain amount a month, right? So when I said that, I still was like, yeah, that's not that much. But it was like, dude, what would you think if you were saying that back in January, right? I would have probably thought like, damn, you are one ungrateful piece of shit, right? But guys, it really just has to do with your standards and making them absolutely irrefutable, right? Standards that you don't break your routine, standards that you make a certain amount of money, standards that you don't, that you resist impulses, that you exercise every morning, that you eat clean, just really stuff like that, standards that you meditate every single morning, standards that, you make time for your family 1 time a week or 1 time every month. I don't know. Just standards for yourself, right? Because if you don't set standards, if you don't set routines, it's gonna be really slousy, kind of like directionless and objectiveless, which will lead to not a good place, right? So really getting the routines, objectives, and standards in set and check for you, and going through them religiously every single morning and throughout the day will really set you up for success, right? Because multiple habits is like what defines an individual. We as humans we have habits, and that's really what makes us, right? I mean, someone with the habit of gaming all day while like where they're gonna be at financially and just like in life, right? At every single month, it's gonna be the same. Sitting in front of their desk eating junk food. What I did, not to throw off like any gamers. I mean, I did it like for years and years and years, and it's just the same day-to-day thing. You're not working towards anything, right? But if I have the objective of making 40K a month, I know that I need to be in the right mind space, right? I need to be in the right headspace. So what I do, I go through my morning routine and evening routine every single morning and evening and do my tasks for the day, right? My income producing activities. I dedicate time to that. I dedicate time and energy to that. And I also dedicate time and energy to making course videos for my students. I dedicate time and energy to keep my clients happy. Those are my habits, and it wasn't fun to put them in place at the start, but I knew I had to. And obviously willpower can only do so much, but knowing what your Polaris star is, knowing why you do what you do will really just help you stay in check for 80% of the time. It's human and normal to waver from time to time of what you should be doing, right? No one does this perfectly, no one. So raising your standards is definitely a huge one, guys, okay? And realize when you are on this entrepreneurial journey, it's kind of like a spiritual journey. You don't just, go through a few courses and you implement it and your life is changed, okay? That's the false perception on entrepreneurship. It's not how it works, okay? People, like selling people on dreams and not being honest with them, like how it's gonna be is it's not ethical, right? Just know like throughout this whole journey, you are in conflict with like your old self when you're trying to become your new self. And for some people who don't pay attention to mindset or just aren't interested in it at all, they're gonna be like, whoa, what do you mean with like old and new self? Well, your old self is you where you're right now, or where you were like a week ago if you have routines now. And your new self is like someone who you have pictured with certain habits, routines, and standards, and you're trying to essentially transform into that person by taking the actions that he would take from the start of the day till the end of the day. That is really old self versus new self. and it is never gonna end, right? You're always growing as an individual. Nothing is static in the universe. And you have to know that, because a lot of people just feel this uncomfort and they don't know why it is. It means they're on track. It's great, but you're like, why should I feel like this? Right? But they don't know like they're actually transforming from like the individual they were to who they want to become, or they still are, right? It's like a never-ending transformation. You're always like your business is equal to the growth you experience as an individual, like mentally, like standards wise, like routine wise. Okay, it's really just a mirror. You never have like business problems, right? You only have personal problems that are like reflecting back into that. Like I noticed when I was like wavering from my routines, that my business wasn't going as good as like it did in November, right? And I acknowledged that, and then all the pressure is gone, and then there's only like one thing to look at, and then it's like solving that, making sure I get back on track. As I said, it's normal to waver. I waver. Everyone wavers. It's a normal thing. No one does it perfectly, but if you do it right as much as you possibly can, you strive for perfection. Perfection is unreachable. You're gonna get there. Okay, and then last thing, your behavior is a mirror of yourself, right? So I think like in the past 2 weeks, I've invested literally $10,000. One into up-level consulting from Sam Ovens, and the other one in sold out courses from Dan Henry. And it's because I know how I make decisions is how others make decisions towards me when they want to invest into me, right? So let's say you're charging people $2,000 a month, right? And you solve a problem for them, and you expect that person to give $2,000 to you, right? That's awesome. But when it comes down to like you wanting to get your problem solved, and someone asks you $2,000, you're like, nope, like you don't make the decision. And other people will really do the same for you. Your behavior, is a mirror of yourself. Like it literally is. So if you don't invest into yourself, other people won't invest into you. If you want to think about it, other people are going to think about it. And that's something I've learned the hard way. So just know that you are the client you attract. Okay, so I'm trying to be, in that term, when I invest into myself, to be, decisive, but also like doing it out of abundance and not desperation, because like I'm like seeking for like an external answer that solves my problem. I'm doing it out of abundance when I invest into something. And that's something like I've learned from my mentor, Trey, was a really wise guy. I'm gonna like start again with him in January. And basically, guys, you are always gonna be like a mirror of yourself, and that's like why you want to get like good standards, good routines, and clear objectives. So it really all interconnects at the end of the day, right? It all really interconnects, and you really have to know that. So guys, those have definitely been like the main takeaways. Definitely, if you guys have enjoyed this video, let me know, because I really do enjoy making these videos. Maybe there's like something specific you'd like to see. But either way, I hope this was really helpful. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, you got a lot of value out of it, and you actually want to get personally guided by me, there's actually going to be a link in the description where you can book in a free call and see if we're actually a good fit for each other. Regardless of that, guys, thank you if you made it till the complete end, and I hope you have an awesome day.